Have you ever wondered why certain people trigger you, why you sometimes act out of character, or why your dreams are filled with strange emotional symbols? The answer might not lie in who you are on the surface, but in who you've buried underneath. We all wear masks, but beneath those masks lives a side of ourselves we often deny, avoid, or fear. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology, called this hidden aspect the shadow. The shadow isn't just some psychological relic or abstract idea. It's the part of us that holds deep power, raw emotion, and often untapped potential. It can sabotage our relationships, fuel our addictions, and distort our perceptions. But it can also be the key to healing, creativity, and profound self-awareness. So, what exactly is the shadow? Why do we suppress it? And what can Carl Jung teach us about embracing our inner darkness? Welcome to The Unfolding Journey, the channel where we explore depth psychology, philosophy, and the inner landscapes of the human experience. If you're someone who's interested in going beyond surface-level self-help and into the deeper realms of the psyche, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into one of Carl Jung's most powerful and misunderstood concepts, the shadow. Understanding the shadow. Carl Jung defined the shadow as the part of the unconscious mind consisting of repressed weaknesses, desires, instincts, and shortcomings. These are aspects of ourselves that we find unacceptable and therefore push out of our conscious awareness. But repressing them doesn't make them disappear. They continue to influence us, just outside of awareness. The shadow can include everything from anger, envy, and greed to vulnerability, dependency, and even forbidden desires. Jung wrote, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." In other words, the more we deny or ignore our dark side, the more likely it is to control us from the shadows. This doesn't mean the shadow is evil. It's neutral. It simply contains what we reject about ourselves, either because of social conditioning, trauma, or internalized judgment. The birth of the shadow, how it forms. So where does the shadow come from? It begins forming in childhood. As we grow, we learn what behaviors are acceptable and which are not, from parents, teachers, religion, and culture. For example, a little boy who cries may be told that boys don't cry. Over time, he learns to suppress sadness and vulnerability. These traits become part of his shadow. Similarly, a girl who shows anger might be scolded or punished. She learns to associate assertiveness or rage with danger and buries it. But that energy doesn't disappear. It might resurface later as passive-aggressiveness, self-sabotage, or projection onto others. Each time we deny a part of ourselves to conform or feel safe, that part gets pushed into the shadow. It's like stuffing unwanted emotions into a psychological closet. Eventually, the closet gets full, and the contents start spilling out in unconscious ways. How the shadow manifests. Jung believed that the shadow reveals itself in multiple ways. Projection. We often project our shadow onto others. What we dislike or criticize in others is often what we can't accept in ourselves. For example, someone who judges others for being lazy may be repressing their own need for rest or their fear of inadequacy. Triggers. When we're disproportionately triggered by someone's actions or words, it may be because they've activated a part of our own shadow. Dreams. Jung placed great importance on dreams as a gateway to the unconscious. Shadow figures often appear in dreams as threatening strangers, animals, or figures that evoke fear or conflict. Addictions and compulsions. Repressed emotions or traits can surface through self-destructive behavior if not integrated consciously. Relationship patterns. The shadow often shows up in our intimate relationships, especially when we unconsciously seek in others what we've denied in ourselves. Jung didn't believe we could eliminate the shadow. Instead, we must integrate it, bring it into conscious awareness, understand it, and find a place for it in our psyche. The gift of the shadow. One of Jung's most revolutionary insights was that the shadow isn't just a pit of negativity. It's also the container of our unrealized potential. Qualities like assertiveness, creativity, sexuality, independence, and power may also be repressed, not just so-called negative traits. For instance, a person raised in a strict or religious environment may have buried their sensuality and passion. When this remains in the shadow, they might feel emotionally blocked or detached from their body. But reclaiming that part of themselves can lead to personal freedom and wholeness. In Jung's view, the shadow holds the key to individuation, the process of becoming your full self. This doesn't mean becoming perfect or good. It means becoming whole. Jung wrote, Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The shadow becomes our fate unless we choose to meet it consciously. Meeting the shadow, the process. So, how do we actually meet and integrate the shadow? Here are several methods Jung and modern Jungian therapists recommend. A. Self-observation and honesty. Start by noticing your triggers and projections. Who irritates you and why? What do you judge harshly in others? These are often clues pointing to aspects of your own disowned self. B. Dream work. Keeping a dream journal can help you access unconscious material. Pay attention to recurring symbols or characters, especially ones that evoke strong emotions. C. Active imagination. This is a technique Jung developed where you allow images, feelings, or inner figures from your unconscious to speak to you. It's like conscious dreaming, used as a tool for dialogue with the shadow. D. Creative expression. Writing, painting, music, or movement can help bypass the analytical mind and express what words cannot. Many aspects of the shadow reveal themselves through creative flow. E-therapy. Jungian analysis or depth psychotherapy can provide a safe container to explore shadow material. A trained therapist can help navigate difficult emotional territory and make connections that are hard to see alone. F. Compassionate curiosity. Perhaps most importantly, approach your shadow with curiosity, not judgment. Everyone has a shadow. Meeting it with compassion instead of shame is the beginning of transformation. The cultural shadow. Jung also spoke of the collective shadow, the dark aspects of society that we disown and project onto other groups, ideologies, or nations. History is filled with examples of this: racism, scapegoating, religious persecution, and political violence. When groups disown their own guilt, fear, or aggression, they often demonize others. To confront the collective shadow requires awareness, dialogue, and the courage to take responsibility for our shared humanity. In today's world, marked by division, blame, and projection, the work of shadow integration is not just personal, it's cultural and urgent. Meeting the shadow is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey of self-discovery, self-compassion, and integration. It's about becoming more real, more whole, not just more positive. Carl Jung didn't offer us quick fixes or feel-good affirmations. He gave us a profound map of the human psyche, a way to face our inner darkness, not with fear, but with wisdom. When we stop running from the shadow, we start reclaiming the parts of ourselves that make us powerful, creative, and alive. So next time you're triggered, dreaming, or feeling pulled by unconscious forces, pause. Ask, what part of me is asking to be seen? Because often, the path to the light begins in the dark. If this exploration resonated with you, and you're curious about diving deeper into Carl Jung's teachings, shadow work, and the journey to self-integration, subscribe to The Unfolding Journey. We release weekly videos that illuminate the hidden layers of the psyche with depth, nuance, and heart. Give this video a like if it sparked something in you, and share it with someone who might benefit from this insight. Until next time, keep unfolding.